In the name of the most gracious, the ever merciful, my dear brothers, my dear sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Today, I want to speak to you about a power that is often mistaken for passivity, a strength that is often seen as silence. I want to talk about the profound, divine act of staying silent and focusing on your goals. Look around you. The world is so loud, everyone has an opinion, everyone has advice, everyone wants to know your business. Social media screams, look at me, look what I'm doing. And in this cacophony, our precious dreams, our God-given aspirations can get lost. We start to feel pressure to announce our plans, to seek validation, to answer every critic. My beloved people, I urge you, stop. Imagine, if you will, a soldier preparing for the most important battle of his life. He is in the armory, surrounded by the finest weapons, the strongest shields, the most resilient armor. He carefully selects each piece, knowing his very survival depends on this choice. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, I want you to understand that you too are a soldier in the greatest battle you will ever face. The battle for your destiny, for your peace, for your success in this life and the next. And in that spiritual and psychological armory, there is one piece of equipment that is profoundly underestimated, often left on the shelf, yet it is more powerful than any sword. That piece of equipment is your silence. We live in a time where silence is mistaken for emptiness, where if you are not speaking, you are assumed to have nothing to say, where if you are not constantly broadcasting your struggles and your plans, you are considered to be doing nothing at all. This is a deception from the lowest levels, a trick to pull you into the arena of noise where your energy is dissipated and your focus is fragmented. Your silence, my beloved people, is not a void. It is a sanctuary. It is not a sign of having no answer. It is the ultimate answer to the chaos that seeks to consume your purpose. Think of it as a spiritual shield. What does a shield do? It does not attack. It does not proclaim its own strength. It stands firm, it intercepts, it protects. When the arrows of doubt are fired your way, can you really do this? Who do you think you are? This will never work. Your silence is that shield. You do not have to catch every arrow. You do not have to examine each one and craft a perfect rebuttal. Let your silence deflect them. They clatter to the ground, useless, while you remain untouched, your gaze fixed on the path ahead. When the whispers of was of satanic insinuation come to tell you that you are not enough, that your past disqualifies you, that your future is bleak, your silence becomes a fortress around your heart. You do not entertain the conversation. You guard the gates of your soul with the conscious, chosen quiet that says, this space is reserved for higher conversations, for divine inspiration. This silence is also a strategic shield in the worldly sense. When you announce a goal prematurely, you release a psychological energy. You get a fleeting hit of dopamine from the likes and the good lucks and the seeming validation. But you have also unintentionally satisfied a part of your brain that feels the reward has already been achieved. The urgency diminishes. More dangerously, you have exposed a tender, budding intention to every possible energy around you. The envy of a colleague, the well-meaning but discouraging advice of a relative, the competitive spirit of an acquaintance. You have invited commentary onto a stage that was meant only for you and your Creator. By holding your plans in sacred silence, you nourish them in an incubator of pure intention. You allow them to grow roots deep into the soil of your faith unseen, so that when they finally break the surface, they are strong enough to withstand any storm. Remember the story of Maryam, peace be upon her. When she returned to her people carrying Prophet Isa, Jesus, peace be upon him, what did they say? The accusations, the shock, the confusion. And what was her divinely instructed response? Indeed, I have vowed to the most merciful abstention, so I will not speak today to hear any man. She was given the strength of sort of silence. It was a period of purposeful pause, of turning inward to her Lord, until the moment He commanded the infant to speak from the cradle and bear witness. Her silence was her shield, her dignity, and her ultimate proof. She did not engage in the frantic, fearful explanations they demanded. She entrusted her affair to Allah, and He sent her defense in the most miraculous way. Your journey is no different. There will be moments of misunderstanding. There will be times when people question your absence, your quiet dedication, your choice to step back from the noise. In those moments, your silence is your discipline. It is the active, conscious choice to preserve your inner peace for the work that matters. You are not being rude, you are being strategic. You are not being secretive, you are being protective. You are guarding the trust that the Almighty has placed within you. The trust of a dream, a talent, a vision for a better life that aligns with His pleasure. So I implore you, do not undervalue this mighty shield. In your daily life, practice it. When provoked to argue pointlessly, choose silence. When tempted to boast of a plan, embrace silence. When overwhelmed by the clamor of the world, retreat into silence. In that quiet, you will hear the whisper of your Lord. In that stillness, you will find the clarity for your next step. In that protected space, your goal is safe to grow. Let the world shout. You, in the beautiful, powerful fortress of your silence, must simply and steadfastly work. For that quiet work, done with a heart full of faith, echoes louder in the heavens than any noise this earth can ever produce. And its reward, by the grace of the Most High, will be a success that is solid, that is blessed, and that speaks for itself in a language far beyond words. Let us go deeper, my dear brothers and sisters, into the very heart of this matter. This goal of yours, this vision that keeps you awake at night with a mix of excitement and anxiety, this quiet hope you nurture in the secret chambers of your soul. Have you ever stopped to consider its origin? Where did it truly come from? You may think it is your own ambition, a product of your environment, or a reaction to your circumstances. But I want to invite you to a higher perspective, a more profound truth that will transform the very way you pursue it. That goal, placed so specifically in your heart, with your unique skills and your particular passions in mind, is not a random accident. It is in its purest form an amanah, a sacred, solemn trust from the Creator of the heavens and the earth, deposited directly into your care. Think of that for a moment. The all-knowing, the all-wise looked at the entirety of His creation across time and space, and He chose you to carry this particular light. He entrusted you with this specific mission. This changes everything. It means your pursuit is no longer merely a personal endeavor for worldly gain or recognition. It elevates it to an act of worship, a fulfillment of a divine covenant. When you wake up early to work on it, you are not just being productive, you are showing gratitude for the trust. When you study to improve your skills, you are not just acquiring knowledge, you are sharpening the tools He gave you to be a better custodian. When you push through fatigue and frustration, you are not just being stubborn, you are demonstrating fidelity to the one who believed in you enough to give you this responsibility. This understanding shifts the entire paradigm. If your goal is an amanah, then your accountability is first and foremost to Allah. It is He you must answer to on the day of judgment for what you did with this trust. Did you bury it out of fear, like the lazy servant in the parable? Did you squander it on trivialities and distractions? Or did you invest it, nurture it, and work with it until it yielded a return of benefit, not just for yourself, but for your family, your community, and ultimately for the sake of His pleasure? This lifts a tremendous burden from your shoulders. You are no longer chasing this goal alone, relying solely on your own limited power. You are fulfilling a duty to the most powerful, who has promised to aid those who strive in His cause. Your effort becomes a dua in action. Every stroke of the pen, every line of code, every act of service done with the intention of honoring this trust is recorded as an act of worship. Now, consider how we treat a precious trust in our daily lives. If a friend leaves a priceless, fragile heirloom in your safekeeping, how do you behave? You handle it with extreme care. You place it in a secure, clean space. You protect it from dust and harm. You certainly don't leave it out for just anyone to handle or comment on. You guard it diligently until the time comes to return it in a better state. This is exactly the attitude we must have towards our divinely inspired goals. We must handle them with ihsan, with excellence and beautiful care. We must place them in the secure environment of good intention, protecting them from the dust of showing off, from the harm of impure motives. We must not expose this fragile budding trust to every passerby who might carelessly criticize or dampen its spirit. This is why the silence we spoke of is so crucial. It is the protective casing around this sacred trust. When you speak about it prematurely to those who will not understand its sanctity, it is as if you have taken that precious heirloom and passed it around a crowded room. It gets handled by careless hands, it is subjected to ignorant opinions, and its sanctity is diminished. Guarding it in silence is an act of reverence for the trust itself and for the one who entrusted it to you. Therefore, my beloved people, when you feel the weight of your goal, when the journey feels long and lonely, remember its true nature. You are not just building a business, you are cultivating a trust. You are not just writing a book, you are faithfully transcribing a chapter of the potential He placed within you. You are not just trying to get a degree, you are honing the intellect He gave you to be of service. This realization fills the grind with grace. It turns mundane tasks into meaningful rituals. The long nights become vigils. The setbacks become tests of your sincerity in handling this amana. And with this consciousness, you will find a wellspring of patience and perseverance you never knew you had. For how can you give up when you are not just working for yourself, but you are answering to the Lord of all the worlds? How can you be frivolous with your time when you are managing a deposit from the divine? Pursue your goal with this heart, and you will find that the journey itself becomes a means of drawing nearer to Him, and the destination by His will becomes a success that is both worldly and eternal, a fulfilled trust that earns His eternal pleasure. That is the highest achievement of all.